Druid ability being adjusted lower to focus for the team. It's intentional and will remain as a characteristic and strength of the Druid. Oh my god, they're not changing it, dude. Yo, WSDF. He's sticking to it, dude. He says, Druid will continue to be this way. Having serviced the game for over a year, and we have thought a lot about the direction PvP and classes should go in various directions. In the future, we plan on designing a way that brings out the strengths of each class a little more. This could fix a lot of the problems. SDF plans to address the hyper druid movement. Not yet, this is by design. Oh my god, yo, he's tripling down, dude. He said, fuck that, dude. Druid's going to cook, and you will not let them stop. Everybody's talking about Druid, dude. Druid to fulfill the role that you intend to have. Currently, I feel like Druid is in a place that doesn't really have any identity. I'm wondering how you guys feel about Druid. Druids are doing what I want them to do. He's like quadra down, except that their role as a healer is weaker than I expected. Oh my god, Druid getting a buff. Druid's getting a buff, boys. What I want is not for the role of the Druid to be reduced or their capabilities to be limited, but for all classes to change so that they can deal with a wider variety of situations within their own personality. This is fair, dude. I don't have issues with Druid. I die once in a while to Bear when I'm an idiot and corner myself. But other than that, you can cook Druids. I don't know. When we add Dwarf Race, this is why we haven't removed the ability of the race that carries the risk of pay to win. We will test on the short races by experimenting with goblins first, but before going to dwarves. We'll also continue to be vigilant and correct mistakes if we make them in the future. And the reason why they're probably doing this is because they don't have to get a model for dwarves. They literally could just take the same model for a goblin and just make it a skin. And that's probably their way of testing it. And if they don't like it, they could always just remove it. Okay, thoughts on the current state of Rogue. Rogue is connected to many parts of the game, so it's not easy to summarize in one word, but I will say it anyway. I understand that the current state of the game is that pressing the play button is very heavy. It is also a characteristic of this genre, but the penalty for dying is so great, they have to wear a headset and play with full concentration. This is true. This is true. So entering the dungeon is basically burdensome. Yes, this is true. This is why y'all watch me. I'm literally stressing my ass off playing. You watch me getting cooked all day. Of course, it may not apply to hardcore players. In any case, I have plans to improve this across the board. Okay, so SDF is basically saying he wants to make this not as stressful to play. Because he understands that it's pretty burdensome when, you know, new players are getting in the game. They're like, oh, dude, look at all these greens I just got. They put all the greens, they get in the lobby, and they just get fucking destroyed. And they're like, well, that's everything. This sucks. Because it's comfortable to choose in the above situation because it was very high survivability due to its fast move speed and interaction speed. And because of that, has traditionally had a high pick rate. And when Rogue can inflict explosive damage, it showed a very strong aspect in the playstyle we call landmine due to the nature of the ability granted. Yes, this is an issue, and they know this. It was not easy for other classes to respond. Yep, they know this. Also, hyena-like play that only searches for the corpses of victims while other players fight is popular these days. Korean players call this crows. They mentioned this before on one of the announcements for a patch, I believe. That was my first time actually hearing of this term. It's very interesting. I know Druids have this playstyle too. Druids are like, fucking just wait, and they panther up. The third party, they finish somebody who's low, and then just clean up the mess. Or they just pick the bodies. Yeah, fucking vultures, dude. In short, Rogue is a class optimized for low risk, high return. It has been... What? Low risk, high return? Has been loved for a long time. Okay, so this is SDF's way of saying Rogue takes no skill. Problem is that there has been a lack of various countermeasures for Rogues, various low-risk plays for a long time in the classes. One way would have been to completely rework the Rogue, which they've done a few times. Since I didn't want to give up some of my vision for the class, I said it would be better to give it more counterplay against other classes. What is the counterplay, though? I know this may be a disappointing answer, but since I didn't have a schedule to focus on other methods right away, I had no choice but to lower Rogue's attack power. Yeah, see, even they acknowledge Rogue is too fucking strong, dude. There's nothing you could do when you get landmined. You just get fucking cooked. Let's see.
You mean it's not fun to walk around a corner and get 3-tapped in plate armor?
You flinch, and then you're in the main menu, and Squire's like, "Greetings, traveler." You're like, I fucking hate this game. Yeah, I hope Rogue will appear in various places and dungeons like Alien or Spider-Man, climbing walls. Wait, what? The fuck does that mean? Of course, after...
If Rogue start climbing walls...
No, bro. No shot, dude. If they get... Bruh, if they get rid of double jump and make it they can climb walls, do you know how much worse that would be? Oh my god.
I'm so far out of this game, I will go back to playing MMOs. Fuck off.
Oh, man. Of course, other classes are given sufficient countermeasures. I also want to see top-tier rogue players being intelligent in 3v3s. That's fair. So before I will focus more on structural improvements. This is a really thought-out response to this rando, guys. Question. How would you explain the fact that Rogue's double jump got gutted last time and we had Ruin's map, but now Druids can triple jump across the whole modules on the same map?
Oh, fucking.
That's a good question. I don't want
the answer's worse.
What is it? I don't want the game to require too much vertical mouse movement, but eventually Rogue will end up stuck on the wall. No, dude. Oh, Rogues are going to be able to climb, boys. It's official. That's the second time he's mentioned it.
Bro, if they start to climb, I'm just walking into rooms assuming there's going to be a weird fuck on the ceiling. Like,
dude.
That's what it is.
You're going to walk through a door and he's just going to be sitting on the wall just like, ooh, just wait. Ooh, just wait till Rupture comes off cooldown. Ooh, just wait till Cutthroat comes off cooldown.
Dog, if they can invis on the wall, I'm not having chameleons in my game anymore. I'm walking away.
Oh my god, they'll be the most broken chameleon Rogue build. Here are my thoughts on the arena. The arena I wanted to create was one where the play in each round would affect in the next round. I thought about it deeply in the beginning, but I came to the conclusion that thinking deeply about it without a playable field would likely end up as a desk theory. We don't really like to develop only in theory without playing it ourselves when developing. We prefer to develop it while playing. That's why we decided to first create a playable arena that guaranteed a minimum level of fun. Okay, so pretty much they're going to work on it. For now, we were focusing on MMR-based matchmaking and ranked... Oh, no. Oh, no, MMR. I'm fine with ranked, but, like, regular MMR is cooked, bro. Don't be Apex, please. Any plans for bigger variety of gear for wizards, hats, weapons? We are always interested in adding more weapons and armor, but I feel it's not easy to create different personalities for the various pieces of equipment that bring adding. Yeah, where are the wands at? Where are the wands at, SDF? We were promised wands a year ago. To fix. Okay, these are important things that he's noticed while playing. I think these are important. There are various classes of players in the current game. It's really complicated with divisions based on playtime and skill. I wonder if he was playing solos or with somebody. That would probably change his opinion on certain things. I'm trying to understand the players in each area, so when I see feedback from each player, I try to figure out which group they belong to first. However, instead of explaining all these things in detail, I'll explain the parts of that game that I feel I want to improve through one example. One of the problems that I currently recognize as the most important thing I want to improve the game is that it's hard to enjoy the game when there are players in the party who aren't good at this game. True. In the party as in on your team, that's very true, because then you get rolled. To explain more, this game is so risky that when a low-skilled player plays with a high-skilled player and the game results in a bad outcome, both types of players become stressed, making it difficult for the low-skilled player to stay in the game due to guilt, and making the high-skilled player reluctant to play with the low-skilled player. True. Many team-based games have the problem, but I think each game has its own unique solution. I'm trying to solve the problem in two ways: increasing the survival rate of low-skilled players and making it possible for high-skilled players to 1v3. Ooh, let's go.
Oh, no.
How is he going to do that?
I don't understand what he's saying. That's MMR, dog.
Yeah, I know. Is it going to be the backpack system like Apex?
Oh, God.
So, okay. So I think what he means by this is they're going to have an MMR, and I think they're going to have one dude with high MMR on each team. And then the other two are Timmies. I think that's what they're going to do. Which, I think that'd be okay. I'd actually be okay with that. Because you'd be fighting a team with two dog shits, and then one good dude, and then it's probably just going to be down to you 1v1ing the other guy, which is cool. But I'm fine with that. Fuck it. I just don't want the MMR where your team is dog shit and the other team is disgusting. That's what I don't want. That's what kills the fucking game. Because you can't 1v3 sweats as a solo sweat. Players who don't want to fight should be able to escape from the dungeon relatively easily in combat situations in the process. You can't do that when you have to wait to the very end of the map to leave. I hope they will gradually get used to the dungeon and feel the fun of collecting resources. Finally, I hope they will become more daring and jump into combat situations when they want to fight. I like that. This is cool that they're thinking about the game in its entirety. Like, they want the new players to actually have fun, because I think they understand that there's a lot of issues with the new players. They're not enjoying it, and they're just bouncing. What was that one? Koopa, he dropped that video, and in the video he even said that they lost half their player base in the last month, and I think that's probably the reason why people are just getting cooked, and it's just they're not having fun. It's a very steep learning curve too. Oh, Weapon Mastery, here we go. Is Rondel Fighter going to get looked at? Because that's the optimal way to melee at the moment. The Weapon Mastery penalty is removed to allow fighters to use powerful bows, as they had fewer options to counter magic, but things seem to have changed somewhat now. That's your response?
Oh, dude, I know what he's gonna do. I know what he's thinking when he said that too.
Weapon Mastery is only going to give you the ability to use bows, or they're going to get rid of Weapon Mastery and just let them use bows. I'm thinking.
They're just gonna give them bows, and weapon mastery is gonna be for all other off-meta things. But he's going to get a penalty when he uses it.
Good. That's how it should be. Give us a minus 10% action speed penalty and Weapon Mastery for weapons, specifically melee weapons. That's crazy. It still sucks for Rondel Fighters are still cooked, but not as hard. The exact problem with Rondel Dagger is that the animation is too fast. In its current state, adjusting the damage of Rondel Dagger would require modifying the item itself or moving the damage stacking through random modifiers, which they're talking about additional damage and true damage, which is not simple. However, I sympathize with the problems. Okay, so he understands. 100% he got cooked by Rondel Fighter in Dungeon. He's like, damn, this kind of sucks. So I will look into it one by one.
Oh no, well, Rondel might be actually getting cooked. Did you see the latest?
No, let's see it.
Can you please remove the Rondel Dagger for all classes except Rogue? And DLT Druid, thank you. I see how much you guys have suffered from the Rondel Dagger. Let's take a closer look.
There's been like 20 questions about Rondel, dude. Oh, I wish I could add another one. Please remove Rondel. Just spam him with Rondel needs to get cooked. Everybody knows it. This is what I'm talking about. It's so bad. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on the current bee-hopping epidemic. It's a bug. Oh my god, alright. Well, it looks like bee-hopping is not fucking intended, boys. They're getting rid of bee-hopping. Rip Warlock, rip Wizard. Remember, SDF is a Druid main, though? Oh, fair enough. Do you have plans to buff loot from sub-bosses or give more variation of special rates or champions? This is a good point, because the sub-bosses don't give shit for loot. Like, they're just annoying to fucking deal with, especially champs. You know, unless you get a fucking gold key, which is... I've only gotten 3 in the 2,000 hours I played, so there's that, 2 or 3. The sub-boss loot is a very disappointing part for me while playing. In fact, it was fun to see people get obsessed with it when golems were set to drop excessive ore. That was crazy, by the way. I had a fourth of a stash of, copper powder, ruby silver powder, and all that stuff. It was crazy. And then they nerfed it, rip. I'll think about it. Okay, he's going to think about it. Chance at katana-type weapon. Would love a two-handed... option for rogue? A rogue with a katana? Bro, that's not a rogue. That's a... I mean, that would be like a ninja, wouldn't it? Or not a ninja, a samurai. Druid bear form needs a nerf fast. I agree that the damage may be a bit excessive.
Maybe?
I just picture SDF going in there with a fucking fighter and a shield. And he's like, oh, this is crazy. And then a fucking druid flies from over top of a wall and fucking ruins and one-taps him. He's like, well, that shit fucking hits.
Bro, have you been drop-shotted by a bear yet? That shit's
yes.
insane.
It's disgusting. But not many druids are that crazy, but it feels pretty bad. It's a feature of the map queue matchmaking system. We understand your discomfort with 3-layer, and we know that it's currently quite loose. Alright, we already went over all this. This is crazy, though. They said that... however, we have come to the conclusion that it would be better to improve the fundamental problem rather than spending too much energy on short-term improvements. Oh, they said Expressman has not reached the desired state, and improvements are delayed, so it's still uncomfortable. Interesting. So they're planning on changing that up a little bit. I wonder what they're going to do.
I mean, a good change would be the fact that he shows up after the dungeon every time and doesn't have the huge delay. That would be nice.
Yeah, they would have to put something, though, because I remember on the last Q&A, when he was talking with, was it One Peg or Jay, or I don't know who he was talking with, he mentioned something that it's lore for the Expressman to have to leave as well, so he's not going to stay in there the entire time. At least, like, if you're the last person in there, you should have 10 seconds to toss your shit in. I think that's fair. Could we expect to see quality of life changes update soon? Stuff that would make the game better for 100% of the player base, not just specific class or playstyle. I also have a lot of things that I find inconvenient while playing the game, so there are a lot of areas that need improvement going forward, and we will prioritize improving what we have already developed. Ladders are something I really want to fix. Yeah, it's annoying. When you get to the top of the ladder, you're like fucking... and you just can't get to the fucking top, and it makes you want to punch the monitor. That's annoying, and I've died multiple times by that. Slipping off and hanging on top for a while. Yes. Expressman is being worked on and will include a buy button for all. The fact that they didn't implement that immediately is crazy to me.
The buy all button is needed. It's taken quite a bit to get that.
It's annoying. There are a few planned improvements to the marketplace. I'm not sure what exactly mean by auto search, but it's planned to include the ability to search for prices of the same item when listing an item for sale, and the ability to research items you've searched for frequently. Oh, that'll be nice.
Oh, so like a history list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is the first time I've heard of left clicking. I'll check it out. The current spectator is based on your client. So it's not accurate for what happened on the server side. Okay, that's why it seems when you're spectating somebody after they kill you, it seems to be not actually what happens. I think it's just a recreation, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, improving this actually making a replay feature is currently low priority. Yeah, that'll be tough for them to do. They'd have to redo that, I think. Stash search feature. I've been saying this, bro. This is why I can't clear out my stash. Because I'm looking for something, and I have, like, 60 rings. And I'm like, I don't want to sit here and look at every ring. This is going to piss me off. Yeah. We need a search feature where we can type additional magic, and then it tells everything in your stash with additional magic. Will we see hunting traps rework or changed? Oh, my God, bro. Not yet. Oh, fuck. But I agree that we need to change something more reasonable. Yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. We looked at it the other day. What was it? A gray hunting trap is 12 seconds or something? Or is it 8? I think it's 8. A white is 10 or 12. Blue is 18 seconds in a hunting trap. That's crazy, bro. PVE mode when? This won't be explicitly there, but I plan to make it easy for players who don't want to PvP to avoid it. Okay, and by this, I think he means when he said you'll be able to leave the dungeon much quicker. I think what they're going to do, how crazy would that be? I don't know, that might ruin the game. If they start the dungeon, right, all the blues start open, but once you leave, it closes and you can't leave. Like say all the statics on the map are taken, but they're open immediately.
I think what he means by this, and I'm at least reading into it a little bit, I think what he means is that he's going to add an item or something to the game that's going to allow you to open a blue early.
Oh my god, what is this? A fucking... What is it? Was it like a piece of chalk and you create a fucking teleport circle like in RuneScape, dude? Just fucking...
I was thinking more a invocation scroll and you have to channel it on a blue spawn.
That would be crazy. Do you know how... You're like, dude, grab my kit. Hit the scroll. Dude picks up the fucking kit. He's like... Yo, that shit would be crazy. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. They got to do something like that. Cool. I think that's most of everything. He's just going to keep going. This dude is sitting down, bricked up at the desk, fucking double scooped pre into a fucking Rockstar Fruit Punch energy drink, and he's just going crazy on all these responses right now. But I think we read a decent amount. I'll probably make this into a video and drop it.